Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lenka, I'm a Vedic astrologer, and today I'm going to be discussing a very important transit, which is Mars ingress in Pisces sign, which is ruled by Jupiter, and it's going to be looking at this Jupiter also with the fourth aspect. And this is going to be an important transit for a couple of reasons. One being a very major one, that it is splitting away from Rahu, and whatever is the world situation like is going to definitely improve. Two, it is going to be conjunct Saturn and also Mercury, one after the other. So Saturn and Mars will be at war, and then Mars and Mercury will be at war. So one has to be a little more disciplined and more cautioned while speaking and uttering anything important. Okay. So this is what is the key theme of this Mars in Pisces, the watery sign. Though Mars doesn't do that great in the water signs, it debilitates in the sign ruled by Moon, that is Cancer. And one sign he rules also, that is Scorpio. That is why, the energy is going to be felt even more, because Mars is action, heat, initiative. So when it is in the Pisces sign, it is like, a little less violent. So I'm sure it is going to be a good conjunction and a good placement of Pisces sign with the clustering of planets. And of course, better than the Aquarius conjunction. So I've divided this video in segments, because Mars will be conjoining Neptune, Saturn, and Mercury, and then will also be forming a connection with Venus, because I hope you all can hear me and you can understand what I'm saying. And I wish you all a very happy Hanuman Jayanti. Today I went to the temple and I prayed for one and all. It was a beautiful, beautiful setup today. Hanumanji was shining bright as always, and of course with so many garlands and flowers, it was really beautiful. So I was telling you that there is a connection of Venus and Mars also, because Venus is in the sign ruled by Mars till the 19th of April, and Mars is where Venus exalts. And also there is three nakshatras this Mars will be transiting through. First Jupiter, then Saturn's, and then Revati, that is Mercury's nakshatra, and then will be in the Gandanta zone. So I will explain all this. What is Mars? Mars in Pisces, Mars conjunction with these planets, Saturn and Mercury, and the nakshatra transit, and then of course Veda concept. There is a Veda concept in Viparit Veda also. I will be doing it in the readings. And of course, we do have to see how we can improvise through the remedies, very doable remedies, and the good and the bad, both not so good, I would say, rather points of this part of this Mars in Pisces. Okay, so stay tuned. It's a long video, so you have to bear with me initially, because I'm going to be sharing with you the presentation, and I'll be sharing with you my insights on this transit, because it's a very important transit. To remember, when it's an important transit, the video is very long. So initial summary will be longer, and then we have of course 12 sign readings towards the end. So let's start with the presentation first. So this is Mars in Pisces starting from the 2nd of April, and this is going to be till the 11th of May. So this is what is the Mars in Pisces. I am 55, and I hope you all understand that this is a very important. I'm passionate about my work, and I don't see what time is it, what time zone I am in, and I'm sure you all will appreciate that I'm very passionate about my work. And I'm here after my readings throughout the day. I'm working, and then I'm here to make the videos, because people, how will they know that I am an astrologer? And I'm doing astrology, following astrology since last 30 years, and learning, practicing, and I've done many horoscopes in my lifetime at this age. And I'm sure that if you have taken reading from me, that I take a lot of effort to guide people and In fact, I don't do it. It's him who does it. So I leave it on to him, the divine force. So Mars is also, about force. That is what my Ucha Mars also does that. And that gives me a lot of stamina and courage also. So Mars is going to be in the Pisces sign. The Mars, which is the force, and Mars is, what is Mars? Mars is war and force. Mars signifies aggression, military action, embodying the spirit of competition and conflict. Its influence often leads to strategies focused on, on various domains. And definitely it is about, engineering also, land it represents, because he's the Bhukaraka. Okay. So this is what is the Mars about. And Mars in the water sign of Pisces is definitely, it is about borders and without clearing edges, oceans, oils, liquids, and spiritual institutions, migration, hospitals, secrecy, dissolution. Mars in Pisces is not straightforward war energy. It is a wet fire, I would say. So this means globally this transit is going to show covert military actions, naval issues, maritime corridors, oil, gas, a tanker, pipeline stress, refugee or displacement narratives, ideological and religious mobilization, and of course confusion followed by sudden action. So emotionalized conflict rather than clean battlefield logic. Okay, so this is what is this Mars in Pisces going to be. So it acts indirectly, diffusively, and also emotionally and strategically, not always openly. So I have so the core meaning of Mars is in Pisces sign is it's a unique dynamic where it signifies where fire and water intertwine. So creating a pressure-filled environment that emphasizes strategy and covert actions. So this transit is definitely about action and emotion, both. Okay. So this is what. And of course, there can be geopolitical tensions that we can go through. And I will be explaining that also in a bit in the next slides. So there are 4 stages which are very important to note, that Mars is going to be in Purvabhadrapada, that is the Pisces portion to start with. Okay. So 2nd April to the 6th April, because it has already transited through this since the last month. It was in the Purvabhadra since March 24th, 25th, I guess. So irrespective of that, 20th of March. So now it is going to be the last pada of Purvabhadrapada. So which is extremity, this nakshatra is about ideological heat and emotional volatility leading to strategic positioning and heightened tensions in various domains. It is also sacrificial intensity. It is like a burning water. So on the mundane level, it is intense rhetoric and ideological posturing, threats, warnings, declarations, covert planning, and still carrying the heat of the previous Aquarius phase, of course. Not to forget that whatever has happened, it has happened when Mars was in Aquarius sign. So it is a carryover for fire stage. The anger has changed medium but not disappeared. Then it is going to be Uttarabhadrapada. Now this is a little precarious one, because Mars in Uttarabhadrapada, that means Saturn's nakshatra. So this is going to be a pressure and delay kind of a phase. So you can expect military pressure meeting restraints, and action meeting blockage, and anger meeting endurance, fire meeting karmic delay, force meeting systems. So this is where things can become a little heavy, So this is the phase, and this is happening from the 7th of April till the 23rd of April. Please make a note of the dates also. So this slow burning, punishing, infrastructural or institutional. So this is like, controlled escalation, but grinding conflict also. Sanctions, blockades, choke points, and also engineering failures can happen, structural incidents. some stress is there, and of course oil, water routes, undersea or maritime concerns can come up again. Coastal tension can be there. So this is what, and from the 18 to 21st, this would be the phase when they will be together. Mars and Saturn will be exactly conjunct 18 to, and they will be at war also. So this is the hardest section, when Mars and Saturn will be together. It is going to be about, see, Mars and Rahu was erratic, was explosive, shocking, sudden. Mars and Saturn is actually, it's a destructive energy through pressure, obstruction, exhaustion, and harsh consequences. So which is better if we say Mars and Rahu was drone attacks and all that, it was like that. But when it is Mars and Saturn energy, we have to see how it works. What is the comparison? So when it is Mars and Saturn energy, it's a sustained strain. It is about structural damage. It is about military hardening, punishment, blockade, labor system pain, and also more tangible suffering over time. But still, it is definitely a prolonged phase. It is definitely not just a strike or pressure about the strike, not just a threat, but it is going to be bringing some concrete results. Something concrete will definitely come up. Okay. And also, there are some critical conjunctions, as you can see, I've mentioned. This will be Saturn, and third phase is still left, Revati one. I will discuss that also. See, Mars is speed, heat, aggression, and initiative. Okay. And Mars and Saturn will be together, closely conjunct from the 18th to the 21st, and exact conjunction is on the 20th of April. And then Mars, Saturn, Mercury will be together at the exact degrees on the 20th also. And Mars and Mercury will be at war on the 21st of April and 22nd also, in fact. So this is going to be a delay, pressure, obstruction, endurance kind of a phase, which is going to bring about friction, struggle also. It is difficult because Mars wants to cut through and Saturn wants to hold back. These are two opposite energies which are going to be there. So there can be some frustration, harshness, accidents, conflict with the authorities or labor, engineering, technical ability under pressure, capacity for endurance in hard environments also. So this is what, it is called the Tamasic or Agni-Vayu conflict, which is taking place with Mars and Saturn conjunction. So if, this kind of a conjunction doesn't happen, you cannot be an engineer also. It's a very good combination for engineering, endurance, military discipline, technical execution, survival ability, capacity to work in hard conditions. So we have to have this conjunction. But at the same time, if it is not well positioned in your chart, and also do remember, whatever a combination is happening in the sky, it has to have a connection with your dasha also. Only then it will impact you even more. So if it is not well positioned in your chart, so it can bring about some cruelty, bitterness, blocked anger, and it can also bring about mechanical failures with the electrical equipments. You can have some issues, or there can be some kind of pressure always that you can go through, some harshness and rashness and delay. So if this combination is good, it is good for surgery, it's good for engineering, military, policing, construction, endurance, sports, crisis handling. So people who have this combination in their chart, this is definitely going to be a good time for them for sure. Then comes Mercury and Mars combination, conjunction, which is happening. See, Mars is action, heat, courage, technical energy. And it's said that when Saturn, Mercury, and Mars conjunct, this is a very good combination for good intellect, because Mercury is intellect, speech, calculation, analysis, business logic. So this gives sharp intellect to people now, but it also gives argumentative speech. This is a technical mind, basically, and skill in maths, logics, mechanics, debates, engineering, calculation. So for them, it is definitely a positive thing, when this kind of combination you're born with also. So this conjunction, definitely, if it's placed well positioned, so you can be a good strategist, engineer, lawyer, debater, analyst, marketeer, and also technical communicator. But if it is afflicted, so it can give cutting speech, manipulative communication, lying, twisting, verbal aggression, poor judgment, argument. So all this is what this Kuja Buddha Yuti is about. That is Mars and Mercury conjunction. Now Mars and Saturn this is friction of force and obstruction. So this is a little heavy, but that is Mars and Mercury is friction of force and intellect. So that's the only difference. So if we simplify this, it's iron under strain, and Mars and Mercury is blade in the mind. It's that kind of a thing. So which is tougher? Of course, Mars and Saturn is tougher. It's definitely tougher for peace of mind, body, conflict. So Mercury and Mars is tougher. See, Mercury and Mars, I told you, is 21st and 22nd. They'll be closely conjunct and at war. And always remember, generally it's said that Mars wins. He's the warrior. So it's tougher for communication, judgment, speech, nervous system, arguments. So you have to be a little careful. I will tell you the good part also about it. So this definitely is going to get better if it is supported by Jupiter and Venus. And Mars is looking at Jupiter, and it's in Jupiter's sign also, not to forget that. So what exactly, is the good part about this particular good side of this Mars and Saturn is that it is a disciplined power. Now it is not going to be haphazard like it was Mars and Rahu Yuti conjunction. So now Mars gives action and Saturn will give structure. Whatever will be, it will be a controlled force. Now leaders will be making some proper decisions also. It's on the mundane level, on the war front. So you can work for longer duration, you can handle pressure on the personal level, it is definitely a combination of survivors. So you will see. And also I have seen that people are harping on the layoffs a lot and people will become self-employed and all. It's not going to be like that. Deloitte is hiring 30,000 people. So what is that? If you are not going to serve, everybody is self-employed, how will it happen? How will the world run? So this is the time of surviving. This is the combination of a survivor, remember. And if you are into relative action, okay. And also, you can build from nothing. It's that kind of an ability that people will have now. So slow but steady success, long-term achievements will come through, and success after struggle. So late success but solid success coming your way. If at all you are in the Dasha of Saturn and Mars also, I must tell you. So emotional toughness, definitely it is a very strong combination, and you'll be able to handle crisis well, and you will be able to fix the broken system. So good for managers, surgeon, engineers. This is a very positive time period, and stable income also will be generated. And so it is the ability to do what others give up on, that kind of a phase. Now, what is the good side of Mercury and Mars combination? So if it is Mercury and Mars combination, it's sharp intelligence in action. So Mars gives action and Mercury gives intellect. So together, when they are together, in the horoscope also, I have seen people are very tactical mind. They are very fast and quick. And it's a brilliant analytical mind. Remember, quick thinker, logical and practical, problem solving. So it's definitely very good for the ones who are into business, trading, consulting, analytics. Very positive time period. And it gives you persuasive and very powerful communication, impactful communication and impactful speech. And that confidence that you, when you will see the YouTubers, you will see they have a very strong Mercury and a very strong Mars. So I have, if I don't know whether I'm good or not, but I have an exalted Mars, I have an exalted Mercury also in my chart. So it really is very, they are entwined to each other. Can you see? So they are forming a connection. That is why, these are the combinations. You can see the examples of the YouTubers, they must be having, they're famous. Famous, definitely their 10th house, 10th lord is definitely well positioned, is with Jupiter, Venus. So this can definitely be the time to convince people and influence people better. So people are very good at calculations, if they have this, they're very good at maths, very good at, and it's very positive time period for the mathematicians and calculations and engineers, IT, coding, AI. So this is definitely a very good time for that. But you don't have to be on the argumentative zone, because this is definitely sharp responses. Email, when you're shooting, you have to be a little careful. You might just be giving some sharp responses. So that is something you have to be very careful about, but it is a quick comeback time. Lawyers, negotiators, media personalities, they'll do really well. So this is a very positive time for entrepreneurs, traders, and deal makers. So it is a very good time for strategy planning, what you want to, like street smart. So this is that kind of a combination if you have it in the horoscope. But when it is in the transit happening, it gives you that skill. You will definitely be very analytical and very strategic. You can do this during this time, and very good at marketing skills, business enhancement. So very good. So it's like, paisa bolne se aata hai types. It's that. Money through speech and intellect. Okay, communication based income. If you are thinking of starting something, so you can do it this way also. So Mercury and Saturn, endurance, discipline, structure, and Mars and Mercury, intelligence, speed, strategy. Okay, so this is what is the combination like. So I think people win in long battles and people win in quick battles. That is also one of the differences between Mars Saturn and Mars Mercury. Okay, so also, we have to see what is the next one. That is, so this is Mars and Saturn challenges, and of course Mars and Mercury challenges. You can make a note. I've told already, the slide came later. Then comes the last phase, that is Mars is going to be transiting through Revati Nakshatra, and it is going to be crossing the Gandanta also. So this is going to be from the 24th April till the 11th of May. So this is a tactical, logistical, messaging, route management stage. Revati brings endings. Okay, this is the last nakshatra of the zodiac also. So it is about passage, road, routes, transport. So this is definitely that we know what is happening. There will be some passage through, which will happen during this transit. This is going to be a very important window. So this is the final stretch before a new cycle begins, because Aries is a new cycle beginning. So movement of troops, resources, cargo, evacuation, relocation, diplomacy mix, tactical positioning, intense media and information warfare, transport, shipping, aviation, de-escalation. So all that will happen during this time period. When Mars is in Gandanta, what is Gandanta? When there is this water energy to the fire energy when a planet is transitioning through. Okay. And from Mercury to Ketu's nakshatra. So this is like Revati to Ashwini. So the fire planet crosses from water into its own fire zone. So this is a very classic release point, I would say. So this is like rapid escalation after emotional build-up, impulsive movement after confusion, sudden visible action after covert preparation. Enough is enough decisions will come through. So breakthrough or breakage. This is a boiling point, no doubt, but definitely it is going to be a beautiful time period that we are heading to. That is Mars entering its own sign. Now there is another thing which is happening, that is Mars and Venus are forming a connection. Mars is in, I hope it is there. Okay, the aspect pattern I will tell you later. Mars is going to be aspecting some zones, so I will share with you my insights on the same also. So when Mars is in Pisces, it is forming a connection with Venus, because Venus till the 19th of April is going to be in Mars's sign, and Mars is going to be in the sign where Venus exalts. So passion plus desire, resources plus military tone, value plus action, diplomacy plus heat, art, comfort, luxury, markets plus forceful decision making. So globally, markets reacting emotionally, not rationally. This can show that. Luxury consumer sentiment swinging with geopolitical tension. So this is a little tensed kind of till the 19th of April. Women, art, culture, finance, comfort industries affected by harder strategic themes. Land, real estate sentiment mixed with liquidity and rate psychology. Okay. So this is not purely destructive, I will say, but this will bridge between negotiation and force, attraction and conflict, emotional, emotions and practicality, economy and security. Okay, so this is what. So if it's more likely, the relief comes from diplomacy, money, trade, comfort needs, domestic pressure or peace. Okay, so there is a pressure building up already that we have to go towards the peace. People are suffering. There is shortage of supplies. So definitely it is going to be. Now this Mercury and Neptune will also be conjunct together. This is though not a classical example that I'm giving, but yeah, it is an outer graha. So confusion, propaganda, fog of war, misinformation, chemical or liquid related concerns can happen. So but yes, it is definitely going to be, a mixed kind of a feeling, because right now Mars in Pisces and Saturn star Jupiter is also going to be aspected. So it is a little slower and a more harder phase regards to the when we talk about the the nothing is clear narratives. Okay. Anyhow, this is what is the whole thing, and mundanely, we can say military is hardening, infrastructure pressure is there, engineer failure, water land damage, which is already happening, we know that. So cyber communication conflict is also happening across the globe. So it's definitely warning, and treaties and negotiations are going to take place with this. But the good side is planning will improve and tactical coordination will improve. Negotiations will become possible. So we have to see the good side also, because everybody will be saying that this is not a good transit. Now Mars is going to be influencing 3 zodiac signs by its aspect on the Gemini sign, Virgo sign and Libra sign also. It is going to be aspecting 4th, 7th and 8th aspects. So Pisces, of course, it is going to be in the 12th house of the natural zodiac. So in the Gemini sign, it is about media, communication, transport, borders nearby, roads, rail, telecommunication, messaging, neighboring states. Now Mars 4th aspect to Gemini sign can bring media intensity, transport issues, telecom or cyber conflict, border communications or movement. Virgo is the 6th house of the natural zodiac. So this is about, this can bring about health system strain, military deployment pressure, labor service class stress, legal or compliance conflict, disease. New virus can come in, but it will be killed also. Don't worry, it is not, inflammation can be there. But yeah, it is definitely going to bring about something. And as it is, we are hearing there is another virus. So Libra is the 8th aspect of from the Pisces sign. So this is definitely about strain in diplomacy, alliances under pressure, because this is about balance, law, trade agreements, public negotiations. The sign of Libra is. And when Mars is looking here, alliances are under pressure. Treaty stress is there, power imbalance in negotiations, and legal political conflict happens. So Gemini aspect is information and movement, Virgo is system, service, military, health administration, and Libra is diplomacy, law, and alliances. But thankfully, Mars is looking at this Gemini sign ruler. It's going to be conjunct Gemini sign ruler, and there's an exchange between Jupiter and Mercury also. And also it is going to be aspecting Jupiter. So when Mars is aspecting Jupiter, force meeting judgment. It is about action meeting counsel. So war impulse meeting narrative and negotiations. This is what is going to happen. And military tensions might just be, meeting advisory and diplomatic process. So this is one of the protective factors, because Gemini sign is having Jupiter there. So it's a big time protection and some relief potential we can see. And Not to forget, Ketu will also be entering Magha Nakshatra. So, of course, I'll be doing a separate video. According to the true nodes, it's not entered yet. It will enter on the 20th of April. So, it is about throne linked and authority conscious and dynasty, succession, prestigious issues, old regimes, ancestral grievance, royal a positional authority heavy month for that reason. Anyhow, when we talk about the natural calamities, it is about water, coastline, maritime infrastructure, shipping routes, oil, fuel, liquids, pipelines, flooding, leakage, contamination. So real estate stress will also be felt during this time period. Saturn is also there in the Pisces sign, so it is emphasizing pressure, delay, liquidity. So when we talk about these two, so Mars is real estate also. So there can be some kind of issue there, financing or liquidity rather than instant collapse. It is that kind of a stress. So construction or engineering delays can happen, higher cost of materials, transport, fuel, or compliance, pressure in coastal or water-linked property zones also. Okay, so oil, energy, marine logistics, and hidden infrastructure strain can be felt. So, of course, this is much better, as I said, than Mars Rahu conjunction. So, of course, I would say that 2nd to the 6th April carry over ideological fire, heat enters water, strong declarations, covert positioning, and emotionalized conflict will take place. And when we talk about 7th to the 23rd, this is the time when Uttarabhadrapada, so this is the hardest stretch because Mars will be in Saturn's nakshatra. So there will be heavy pressure on systems, maritime zones, and oil, liquids, infrastructure, and collective nerves. 18th to the 22nd, this is now the peak framework because they are going to be together, Mars and Saturn, and Mercury also will be there. So it is going to be obstruction and information warfare. 20th April onwards, Ketu enters Magha. So that is the tone towards authority, lineage, national pride, old power structures, or legitimacy. 24th April to the 11th of May, when it is going to be in Revati, and till the 13th is going to be in Gandanta. So more movement, more transport, more logistics, more media angle, more attempts at tactical adjustment or negotiations. But Gandanta instability building towards the next sign can bring about some chaos over there. But yeah, not without any intelligence. So people will be definitely making some peace because of this kind of combination. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you all understood what is happening. So let's start with the sign-wise readings after this. Let me see. So this is what is the pressure building up. Economic themes, the transit of Mars is going to be impacting economic sectors such as oil, shipping, construction, leading to potential strain in the logistics. So 80% pressure builds beneath the surface. 80% of conflicts during this transit manifest as covert maneuvers, emphasizing strategic rather than direct confrontations, illustrating how emotions and hidden pressures shape geopolitical dynamics. Okay. So if you want to know more about this, about your personal chart, how this is going to impact you, please you can drop an email at vlastrology24@gmail.com or visit our website vlastrology.com, and then we do the sign-wise readings. Okay. So let us start with the Aries readings first. Okay. So let me share with you the other slide. Okay. So here. So this is based on Ascendant, Moon, and the Dasha sign wise. As you all know, I use the Dasha also, which is very important. So for Aries, being the Ascendant Lord and the 8th Lord in the 12th house, conjunct the 10th and the 11th Lord, and it's going to be moving through Jupiter's nakshatra, Saturn's nakshatra, Mercury's nakshatra, and will be making a combination in conjunction with Saturn, Mercury, and Jupiter also, because it's looking at Jupiter also, and Venus also, because Venus, and I've explained everything in the beginning. So it means that career, finance, decision making, education, property, inheritance, health, overall life direction is going to get impacted or is going to be definitely bringing about activation towards this. So it is hidden action, internal pressure, silent karmic movement, and eventually release. 2nd to the 11th of May, this transit happens on your 12th house, and it is the ruler of self, body, willpower, direction. So it is good for the foreign connections. So there can be low tolerance for nonsense, and there can be some strong inner agitation, hidden frustration. You can be going through, because see, only 3 places this Mars gives good results, that is 3, 6, and 11 houses. Now here it is not giving, it is in the 12th house. So 12th house is, it is not considered to be that good. But if there is a planet transiting through the 3rd house, so this will definitely bring about good results. And there is a Jupiter transiting, so Veda and Vipreet Veda concept. So desire to withdraw from people, maybe, even if your expenditures rise, you will definitely be getting good income also. So there is you need that space, you need that to work on yourself, you need that time out. I need closure, I need to deal with things behind the scenes. And I have seen that whenever, as per the classic text, whenever there is this kind of energy playing out in the first, in your 12th house, as per the classic text, is considered to be, if I start reading, you will say then it is so bad. But yes, 12th house is that you have unwanted and unplanned expenditures, and you may go out of your home country for business, for job. And of course, this can bring about quarrels in the new place if you are, or you feel trapped, in the overseas places. Okay, take care of driving, and you might just and have to be careful while cooking, while chopping the veggies. You have to be little careful about all these areas of life. But yes, it is because your vitality, your confidence has gone to the behind the scenes. It is also the 8th lord energy. So it is going to be, the energy is going to be inward. You are going to be clearing your spiritual release. Some hidden endings happen. Maybe, a relationship ends and you come out of that no strings attached kind of a feeling. So this is definitely going to be bringing about, this is an internal mass. It is going to be giving you, it is not weak, but it is giving you strength inside. So sometimes what happens, you need that time out, to build on yourself. You need that closure. You need to be in that isolation zone. So you will get that speed. You're working on your speed, your direction, your execution work right now. And it is also emotionality. It is about surrender, intuition also. So Mars here is not direct. It is more emotional and more internal. So this will be a passive aggressive energy that you'll be going through. So it is a underwater fire. Okay. So anger is suppressed. Sleep gets disturbed. So you might just be making some decisions, not practically, but emotionally. But it is a very good time. I have seen, people do come out of bigger pains when Mars is in the 12th house, especially the Ascendant Lord is in the 12th house. So this will give you a lot of strength. You will release the old pains. You can heal yourself. From 2nd to the 6th, it is going to be in Jupiter's nakshatra. So this is good for, intense thoughts and thinking about what you have to do in the future. Sudden travel plans might just come through. Anger about something unspoken also. What are you really fighting for? That kind of a question. But this will give you spiritual insight. It will give you inner clarity, powerful intuition, strategic withdrawal. So definitely a very good few days. From 20th of March you have been feeling already, but yes, it is from 2nd to the 6th April. There can be some kind of impulsive expenditure. That is something you have to be taking care. Then it moves from 7th April to 23rd April in Saturn's nakshatra, which is your 10th, activating your 10th and the 11th houses. So this is a good transit for a couple of reasons. It is going to bring about clarity at your workplace. In case you have been looking for identity, you were working under stress, you will definitely get out of that stress. Your career burden is going to minimize now. So there will be some social role, some kind of new project that you'll be getting. So this is going to be bringing about too much of behind the scene job. So some effort that you have been putting and it was not visible, now it will be visible. So this is definitely very positive for you guys at the place of work. With your relationships, you are going to be getting better. You'll be working on that. In case you have been thinking of starting or initiating a relationship, now it is going to be a very important relationship, or we can say significant person will be entering your life. It's just that it can give frustration and hidden anger and sleep drain. So that is something there are always good and not so good sides of the planetary shifts. So you have to be a little careful. 18th to the 21st and around 20th especially, now there is a exact conjunction of Mars and Saturn in the 12th house. So it can give you physical fatigue, emotional frustration, some suppressed anger even more. You can have conflict with the authorities. That is something you have to be careful about. You might just break away from your partner and you're feeling quite isolated and mentally heavy. So you have to be careful. And property and family matters, you can also bring about some tension to you. So that is something you have to work on. But yes, it is going to give you extraordinary discipline, your ability to survive the hard phases, crisis handling, serious strategy, and long-term planning. So this is definitely a good time building from silence. So it's not a glam period, I would say, but it is definitely a period of looking at yourself where you stand. So that is something which happens when you are self-contemplating and self-introspecting. Mars will be with Mercury from 20th to the 22nd, exact conjunction. Mercury will also be leaving the zone. It's in Aquarius on the 11th. It will be leaving 11th April to 30th April. Mercury is going to be in the Pisces sign, debilitated and forming an exchange with Jupiter also. So this is where, self and hidden transformation happens, because Mercury rules your 3rd and the 6th houses also. So self plus courage, self plus communication, self plus work or competition, self plus litigation, health, because self is Aries sign ruler, Mars. So litigation, health, service. So this is huge actually, this can give you sharp tactical thinking, quick analysis, ability to solve problems. And it is definitely very positive for negotiations, writing, planning, strategic communication. So it's good for students, consultant, planners, analysts, and also very intelligently you will handle the situation, not emotionally. It's just that you have to be a little cautious between these 2-3 days time. Don't be reactive, because it can give you some reactive speech. You can be a little anxious about maybe your health. There can be some impulsive emails or messages, and it can bring about some mental irritation also. Just be careful about your conflicts at the workplace because of your communication. So that is something you have to be careful about. And messaging and arguments and legal and work, etc., you have to be a little careful if you're planning for any kind of PR, visa, etc. So you can definitely get through if you are doing the proper, recheck the papers, and then you see that everything falls in place. Now Mars is going to be in the Revati towards the end. It's 24th April to the 11th of May. It's going to be in Mercury's nakshatra. Now the tone changes, because it is going to be activating your planning, movement, documents, effort, communication, competition, routines, and some practical correction happens. So this is definitely a very positive time for solving work issues, work related issues, some action oriented. If you are into sports activities, this is a good time period. You can organize your finances well, and also set your routines, handle paperwork well. And also it is good for healing work, just that phase when you need to work on your inner you. So this is that kind of a time period. If you want to wrap up one hidden cycle or travel, or if you want to complete some burdensome process. So this is a good time, and obviously this is also going to bring about that shift of energy, maybe change of job, change of department, some better handling of your health, your work, your debt, your litigation. So this is going to be a very practical decision making time period for you. So I would suggest that if you have to make any important decisions, wait till this time, 24th April to 11th of May, rather 10th of May, because then it will be in Gandanta. So just also conserve your energy, because it can bring about some nervous exhaustion, mental restlessness also. So don't waste your effort here and there, plan everything really well. There can be some overload of work. So that is something you have to be a little careful. So at the Gandanta time, towards the end, 10 to the 12th or the 13th, there can be some hidden frustration that you can have. So closure becomes necessary. So, but yes, you will be little, on that side where you will definitely be a warrior coming out of the retreat. So it is preparing you. Okay, get ready now. Behind the scenes, you have worked enough. Now come to the limelight and take charge, that kind of a thing. And it's going to be aspecting your third house, your sixth house, your seventh house also. So it is definitely very positive for communication, courage, siblings, narratives and initiatives. So courage will rise, bold communication will happen, strong initiatives, entrepreneurial thinking. It's looking at Jupiter, after all, your Bhagya Lord also. So that is something which is going to be good for your mental setup, and for studies, for higher studies, for education, for childbirth. This is a good time. But not so good time, not so good for arguments, harsh speech, etc., overconfidence. So be careful, and no rush traveling. If you can plan well, all the more better, and resolve issues that you're having with your siblings also, and avoid reactive messaging. It's looking at your sixth house, which is your routine, litigation, health, service, etc. So this is definitely going to be good to defeat the opposition. So in case you have an exam or competition or legal battle going on, so this is definitely going to give you that positive news in your favor. The verdict can be in your favor, and you will definitely get the work strength. Debt handling improves in if disciplined, and also better problem solving. Health correction is possible. See, you have a Viparit Veda happening, so it is definitely very good because Jupiter is in your third house. So this Mars transit is not that bad. People will say that it is bad, but there is a Viparit Veda happening. It's in the bad position, and the third house, if you have a graha, and that too a positive graha, so it is cancelling out the negatives of Mars here. And Mars is looking at your third house also. So any kind of communication based work or something that was lying stagnant now will start moving. So don't be anxious about what is going to happen, about the routine and the results and health and all. So just go to the doctor if at all you feel uneasy. And it's looking at your seventh house also, that is Libra sign, and this is about marriage, public dealings, business contracts. So it is definitely going to be good for relationship matters. You will be resolving those matters, and it'll give you courage to discuss the truth, and business negotiations are possible, and clarity to on one-on-one bonds also. So definitely very positive. Just don't be impatient in relationship, and don't get into any kind of conflict during this time. This can bring about harshness in speech and tone, so that is something you have to work on. So otherwise it is definitely very positive, because you may rethink about your career direction, you may think about your hidden work pressure that you can handle, and also this is going to bring in too much of responsibility and behind the scene projects also. So strategic planning, silent preparation, strong endurance, disciplined effort will pay you back innumerously. So this is definitely good for research, this is good for spiritual work, private planning, foreign work, back-end business building. So this is definitely a positive time for you. In case you are burnout, or it can be lack of recognition, so be prepared for that also. There can be some office politics that you have to handle, but I think you can handle it with Jupiter looking at your 7th and the 11th houses also, and the 9th house, the luck house also. So it's good for building foundation in silence. Okay, for as regards to your finances is concerned, it is definitely going to increase the expenditures, but yes, it is going to be clearing all the debts also now. It is like any kind of hidden expenditures that you have had or you were thinking that will come up will also clear. So this is also good for strategic investment planning. If you do it quietly, this is definitely a very excellent time, and you can plug in or review the financial waste. Just don't do emotional spending. Sometimes what happens, we under pressure or under stress, we just financially, we just feel that if we buy, we shop, we definitely feel less anxious, but it is temporary. So just don't emotionally, you should not be spending. Sleep loss is quite likely because you are thinking too much, so you have to be careful. So decisions can become emotional, frustration may sit underneath logic, action may be delayed until it suddenly erupts. So mind becomes very sharp but also reactive during this time, because it's with Saturn and Mercury also. And you must be careful of deciding when angry. Don't make any decisions or quit abruptly your job, or making decisions regards to your relationship or business in mental heat. That is something you have to be careful about. Okay. And as regards to the education or the students, this is definitely a very positive time for the ones who are planning to go for the foreign land studies and deep concentration work or research or exams or competitive preparation. This is definitely a very positive time, because now in silence, you are focused, so you will definitely be able to achieve more and better results. It's just that there can be some stress levels which can increase, or anxiety can increase, overthinking maybe, so you need to keep a routine and avoid late night emotional spirals, and go to bed on time. That's the best thing that you can do, because 12th house is activated. And as regards to your home, property, real estate matters, so definitely it is going to be activating that. Some paperwork around land and home, you have to be little, you have to recheck. And also property through maybe nearby places like a retreat or waterside areas or hospitals or spiritual centers can also happen. Okay. And also some repairs or leakage issues you will be working on as well. So this transit is more about repair, hidden cost, technical correction, and rather than being more flamboyant on the property expansion. Review your property matters and handle repairs. Maybe you have to do some renovation or something, so you can do it. Don't shout it out to the world that you're doing this, you're buying a property or something, and don't make any impulsive purchases also on the property. Maybe there is some dispute that you get into, so that is something you have to be careful about. And as regards to your inheritance, you can push resolution. You can can reveal truth. This Mars can reveal truth. You can finalize something hidden, you can clear the old entanglements also, but don't get into fresh disputes, I would suggest, and there can be some unexpected stress because of that. And as regards to your children, this is definitely going to be making you very emotional about your children, or maybe your distant relationship with children also, less playful, more private in love. But it definitely is a good time for deeper introspection and creative work in solitude also. There can be irritability with children, so make a constant check. Maybe some health issues. Ketu is also going to be in Maga, so don't let hidden stress become emotional absence. Okay. As regards to your health, your vitality might dip because of your sleep issues. Hidden inflammation can rise, so mental pressure can be there. Hospitalization, medical expenditures might be there. Thankfully Jupiter is looking at your ninth house, so it is balancing things also. Just watch for sleep, headaches, and suppressed anger. That is something which I can say. But yes, it is definitely very positive for inner healing, disciplined healing, therapy, and also some unhealthy habits. If you have, you will be able to cut off those as well. So it's like a reset period for you guys. Okay. So it is going to give you spiritual strength, intuition, courage, karmic clearing, better works discipline. Also competitive ability will increase. Deep emotional insight actually it gives, and good for foreign travels and just shifting or doing things in the foreign land. But very it is definitely good for foreign land, but at the same time it can give you too much of action orientedness, so you have less time to yourself. So that is something you have to make time for yourself if you have to take care of your health. Okay. So and there can be some hidden frustration more because of Mars and Saturn also over there. So that is something you have to be careful about, and the financial leakage also. So slow down before reacting, use solitude well, close unfinished matters, review expenditures, rest properly, and keep written plans. Okay, what you want to do, and channel your anger into exercises, not arguments, and work in silence where possible, and communicate especially after 20s. You can maybe be careful during the Saturn and Mars and Mercury combination. So 18th till the 22nd, be careful about your communication, and use this transit to prepare, not to prove. Okay, so, and do not resign in impulse, please, I request you. Read Hanuman Chalisa on Tuesdays, offer red cloth or red lentils on Tuesdays to the ones who need more than you, and also worship Kartikeya, Hanuman, for disciplined and Mars energy. Disciplined Mars energy you get from Kartikeya and Hanumanji. Light a diya in the south direction, and pray for peace before sleep, and feed fish, birds, and you can also do some kind of gymming, yoga, swimming. Reduce doom scrolling in the night time, especially. Therapy or journaling is definitely required to, and also sleep hygiene is required. Budgeting and expenditure tracking, and also quiet time near water body, breath work, pranayam, and alom vilom, whatever you like to do, you can definitely do it. And see what is it that is draining you, what is haunting you. This is the time for release. You need to release, and don't waste your fire in secret frustration. Use this time to sharpen, heal, withdraw, and prepare. Okay, so this is what is the energy for Aries. Okay, coming to the next one. So it was a detailed one, actually. I have done a detailed analysis. So coming to the Taurus sign. So you have to see what Dasha you're in, only then, you have to check, what exactly is the period going to be like. When it's the Dasha of Mars, it will be activating the zone even more. If it's Saturn Dasha, so it will be activating it more. So 2nd April to 11th of May, Mars transits your 11th house. So 11th house transit is considered to be very good. And in case you have any planet transiting your 5th house, so it would have caused a Vedha. But there is no planet transiting the 5th house, so there is no Vedha for this Mars. So this is the time for gain, network, desire, income, house activation is happening. So gains through pressure, networks through testing, and desires through emotional clarity. Okay. So good side is that new income opportunities are going to open up. Gains through efforts, not luck. Network expansion happens, strong push towards financial goals, multiple sources of income you're thinking of, because Mars is looking at your 2nd house also. So any kind of long pending payments may move, business connections may activate, profit through strategy moves. So action in income zone is happening. What exactly is the challenge that you can face with Mars, Saturn, and Mercury combination is that you can have conflicts in networks. Gains come with stress. Friends become competitors. पैसा आएगा पर टिकेगा कि नहीं, ये आपको समझ नहीं आएगा. Whether the money will stay or it will be spent. So that kind of that you have to decide. Okay, so over expectation leading to disappointment. Okay, and in case you have sudden expenditures, it is eating your gains, because Mars is also your 12th lord, not to forget that. In relationship, it is definitely going to be bringing about a partner who is going to be helpful in enhancing your income. Joint ventures are possible. Business growth is possible. Networking helps a relationship also grow. But arguments with partner over money, ego clashes, expectations mismatch, friends interfering in relationship also is possible. Now, love becomes practical but transactional, because it's the 11th house. 2nd house is looking. It's looking at your 5th house also, your love, romance, relationship, and also your 6th house. So Career wise, it is definitely very positive. It's good for strong ambition, goal oriented action. Network will help actually boost your career also. Some leadership roles, team management will improve, but there will be office politics also. So you have to be careful. You have to work under pressure at times, and also burnout from expectations. Too much of workload will be there. Your result or a driven period, not comfort driven period right now. And here it's normally a practical, Taurus people, they are very practical, but they can be little emotional with this Mars transiting here, because Venus is also in Aries and forming a connection with Mars here. So good for intuitive financial decisions, creative thinking, spiritual clarity in goals, but not good for emotional investments. And you might trust wrong people, and then there can be some confusion in the group decisions, or maybe there will be overcommitment, and then you fall on your face. So verify before acting. But definitely for Taurus, this is a good time because your yoga karagraha is also in your 11th house. It's a very good time for education for students also. Goal oriented study will take place, competitive success, strong focus on results. Networking helps learning, but there can be distraction from friends also. That is something you have to be careful about. Comparison pressure will be there. Oh, he or she is doing better, I'm not. So that kind of a pressure will also be there. And mental agitation also will be there, because Mars is your 12th lord and looking at your second also. So rushing preparation, and take it easy, I would say. Take it slow. But you will definitely be performing well, and competitive success coming your way. As regards to your children, your progeny, this will become more, children will become more ambitious. Not a good time to consider time for gains from past property you have purchased. Selling property is possible in case you're waiting for that, and network based deals. There can be some confusion because Ketu is there in your 4th house, so it can bring about delays in documentation or emotional decision making. Some hidden costs are there which you didn't even know, and there can be some impulsive purchases. So you have to be a little careful about your real estate matters. As regards to inheritance or shared resources is concerned, so settlement is possible. Some hidden financial clarity you will get. But don't get into any kind of new disputes, because Mars is looking at your 6th house. So it can bring about some emotional stress. Good for workouts, good for sports activity, and you will definitely get that motivation to improve your health, and maybe you're going to be in group fitness or some activity you will be joining. But at the same time, take care of your inflammation. Blood pressure fluctuation can be there, or some kind of stress can be there, or social pressure can be there. Maybe at the workplace there is lots that you have to do, and you're not getting good time for your health. So burnout is there, so be careful about that, and don't get into emotional eating also, because Mars is looking at your 2nd house. Oily, greasy foods, you should avoid. Now 2nd to the 6th, when it is going to be in Jupiter's nakshatra, so it's good for optimism, new ideas, network, hope phase. Actually, this is a good phase. From 7th to the 23rd of April, reality check, pressure in income. Also 9th and the 10th Lord's nakshatra, so it can bring about some travels, or maybe some network conflicts also can happen, but good for your disciplined working. At the workplace you might just get the recognition that you're waiting for, or some job change coming in. 18th to the 22nd, you have to be a little careful. Don't get into any kind of arguments, or don't make decisions under pressure, so take it easy. And then 24th to the 11th of May, there is another phase, that is Mars transiting through Mercury's nakshatra Revati. So clarity returns, communication improves, gains stabilize. So this is an execution phase, so this will be definitely positive. And when the gains increase, so definitely you will be wanting to buy some things and to invest somewhere. So ambition rises, of course, okay? But be careful, be strategic, when you are making some moves. So you have to be a little more strategic. Plan everything really well, okay? And strong result oriented period, of course, but it can bring about stress in friendship, emotional decision making, partners conflict also, in love relationship. some ex-partner comes back, and there can be some pressure or expectation or mental agitation which can happen, so be careful about that. So also Venus is the ruler of your your ruler, of course, your Lagnesh, which is transiting the 12th house, but it is in Aries sign, and Mars is where Venus exalts. So it is good for spiritual love, it is good for emotional healing in relationship, creative inspiration, artistic expression rises, and there will be gains through creative or spiritual fields also. Strong attraction energy, maybe you will find someone, and it will create emotional depth and passion also in love. So just take care of emotional confusion in love and secret relationships also. Hidden attraction can be there, extramarital relationship, or over sacrifice in relationship. So or maybe you will be overindulgent, you'll be spending a lot on pleasure and love. So there can be some imbalance there. So emotional plus confusing plus consuming kind of a phase. Love can become that. But at the same time, you desire and obviously you desire for relationship, and you will find someone if you're solo, and also peace in relationship you will get ultimately. So you can just simply do on Fridays Venus prayers, Lakshmi, Durga, Saraswati. You can recite mantras, and also Hanuman Chalisa, Kartikeya worship. You can donate white items on Fridays, especially offer water to the plants, and practice gratitude for what you have got already. And budget tracking is very important this transit. Avoid over socializing and choose quality over quantity in friendships, and journal whatever you emotional clarity you're looking for. Journal, write down what is good, what is not, what is happening, what is not happening. So write and just see how you can balance things out and strike out what is not happening, it's or what is wrong that is happening in your life. So I'm sure you are good to go. And there is a creative outlet also, music, art, writing. So this is not a quiet month. This is the month where your desires increase, your network activates, and your income potential also rises. You must choose carefully where your energy goes. Not every connection is beneficial, no? So that is something you have to be very careful about. So this month will give you gains, but only if you don't lose yourself chasing them. Okay? So you're good to go. Coming to the next one, that is Gemini. 1 second. All right. So for Gemini, Mars is going to be transiting your Pisces sign, and this is happening from the 2nd to the 11th, 2nd April to the 11th of May. So see, Mars is your 6th lord, and Mars rules your 11th house also. Now, this is definitely a career pressure, competitive rise, and visible action. This is that kind of time. So this is action in career, pressure in work, visibility in public life, decisions that define direction. 10th house transit is definitely very positive for you. As regards to your career, Mars in the 10th house is action, movement, and visibility. So career push will happen, leadership opportunities, strong ambition, you'll be in the limelight, collaborations, responsibilities, and of course, you will be able to win over the competition also. Results through hard work, it's going to be seen now. You're going to be in the limelight now, but there will be work pressure. Conflict with seniors can happen, be careful. Ego clashes can happen. So sudden workload increase can happen. Impatience in career decisions. Burnout risk. Too much you're working. There is, like a performance pressure for you. Okay. So as regards to your, your finances, your gains, this is definitely a very positive time. Maybe you're waiting for a job or waiting for a promotion. So this will give you that career rise also. See, the 10th house transit is considerably, 3, 6, 11 only is considerably good. So when we talk about the 10th house transit, it is, it said that you suffer on account of enemies or competitors. And in the 10th house, as per the classic text, it said that your valuables are stolen. So you have to be a little careful about these things. Varaha Mihira, gives both good and bad results for Mars in the 10th. He says that there can be some foreign travels, and it is definitely positive, isn't it? There will be gain also, and there will be enmity also. People might just be jealous of you when this is transiting your 10th house. Okay, so 10th house transit will give you new earning opportunities and strong professional network also. And when it comes to income related stress, inconsistent cash flow, expenditures, paisa aayega par mehnat se. So that is what is the key theme. You have to put your effort to gain. Whatever you are doing, you have to put extra effort in that. Okay, and gains will come late, not instantly. But it is definitely a good transit as per the classic text also. So this is going to be good for because it's your sixth lord, so you'll be able to defeat your enemies. You will be able to win over the competition success, or strong performance, or maybe any kind of workload. You'll be able to handle it well. Courage will be there when it is in the trying to its own zone. But you have to be careful of office politics, backstabbing, overworking, stress related health issues. So that is something you have to be a little careful about. Now Mercury is also going to be conjoined here, and it is also looking at your first house, Mercury's house also, and there is this Jupiter there. So this will give you sharp thinking, quick decisions, tactical mind, problem solving ability now. But impulsive decision making also, that is something you have to be a little careful about. Harsh communication, mental agitation, overthinking. So that is something you have to think, pause, then act. Okay, not that you act and then pause and then think. No, so think, pause, and then act. For student natives, it's a very good strong focus point actually. They'll be really doing well because Mars is looking at your fifth house also. Competitive success, high motivation, goal-oriented study, and of course, there can be some kind of comparison with others, which is not that good. It's good for exams, but not for overthinking. Oh, that person, that friend of mine is working harder, I'm not, or he is going to do well. So you're attracting the negatives more. So that is something as a student should not be doing. And also for children, this is the ambition time. Ambition increases, performance improves, but don't pressurize your children, please. This is not the time, because there will be some emotional disconnect because of that you have to work through. It is looking at your fourth house, so definitely very positive for property related decisions. Work linked relocation maybe is possible. Real estate discussions will be going on. Don't make rushed decisions. Just take care, take it easy, and do the legal complications should not be there. So just get someone involved who can do the paperwork well, so that you don't lose out on the property that you have booked for or you're looking for. You have to read the papers and documents really well, get it checked. As regards to inheritance, this is a time for legal clarity. You will get that dispute resolution also. Just take care of your health, because it can give you some stress, blood pressure, headaches, burnout, or inflammation. So I think the best is that get into that fitness mode. Okay, I need to, the strength to fight disease, it is going to be giving you that. So immunity levels, you have to work on. So whenever your immunity levels are good, you are good to go, for any kind of health trigger. So this is just going to bring about some work related stress that you have to work through. 2nd to the 6th April, this is going to be in Jupiter's nakshatra. So optimism in career, new opportunities, clarity of goals will be there. So vision phase. Then the next phase is 7 to the 23rd April, when Mars enters the Saturn's nakshatra. Now Saturn is the ruler of your 8th house also, and is your Bhagya's ruler also, and is in the 10th house. So it is going to bring about some pressure, obstacles, hurdles, delays plus hard work. But yes, this is a reality phase. You have to be little careful about the about your communication here, and of course don't have any kind of conflict at the workplace also. Some major decisions with maturity will help you if you have to take any. Now 24th April to 11th May, Mars will be in Mercury's nakshatra, Revati nakshatra. So clarity returns, and it will give you communication with people, which is going to be clear, and it will be improved, and it will be an execution phase. So this is like an action oriented and a very positive phase for communication also. So it is good for confidence, courage, action, but at the same time there can be some impatience also. You want things very fast. So that is what is Mars reaction. It's a very reactive planet. And also it is looking at your fourth house, so home improvements, maybe with the Mercury getting activated, your first house, your fourth house ruler. So there will be good problem solving right now. But there can be some emotional distress or disturbance at home. That is something you have to be taking care. Mars is looking at your fifth house also, creativity, romantic action. So this is definitely very positive for starting a new relationship also. But don't be overindulgent in sexual relationship. It can make you sexually agile. Love conflicts will come in, if at all it is only a superficial one. So just be careful, handle your children well, listen to them. You need to be emotionally present for them. And there is a connection of Venus also, because Venus is in Mars's sign and Mars is in where Venus exalts. So this is good for career, for gains, and this is a desire loop also you're getting into. So it's good for creativity, networking, and also romantic connections through work, social circle. So all that, it's good. And gains through partnership also. But there are certain challenges, mixing love and career, and emotional decisions in finances, attraction causing distraction, over expectation from networks. So your career is active, your desires are discipline, and you should offer guru prayers also for Pisces balance, because or Vishnu Sahasranamam, or Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya chants. You can donate green, lentils or gram, anything to do with greens, and Mars is red. So you can donate, and on the in the south direction you can light a diya every day. So this is good, and structured routine is required in case you follow that, and avoid overwork, communicate carefully, don't mix emotions with decisions, take breaks and exercise regularly, and you're good to go. So you're pushed to perform, not to relax. This is that kind of a transit. You can rise, lead, dominate, but only if you control your reaction. You can manage your energy, and you can act with clarity, not impulse. So this month can make your career or exhaust you trying. Okay, that is something you have to pick and choose what you really want. Okay, coming to the next one, that is Cancer. See, you must check from moon, ascendant, and Dasha sign. Whenever I talk about the Dasha sign, you must understand it is about your current state. Suppose you are in a Dasha of a particular Graha, so you have to make that planet's position your first house and see how the planets are transiting. Suppose you're a Libra ascendant, but your Dasha is of Saturn. Saturn is in Aries. So you have to make Aries your ascendant, and then you have to see. Okay, that is how we generally see. We should see. Okay, coming to the Cancer sign. Okay, so for Cancer, this is like, this transit is not just, it's happening in your 9th house, by the way. So this is a Yogakara Graha transiting, and after this it will be in your 10th house. So it is going to be forming a Ruchaka Yoga also. That is, Mars will be in its own zone. So it is heading towards that. So it is definitely Dharma activation plus Karma redirection also. Now Mars is going to be in Pisces from 2nd April to the 11th of May. Now this is good for, because it is also the ruler of your 5th and the 10th and the Yogakara Graha. So destiny is activated through your action. So effort, karma, 10th house, intelligence, 5th house, and dharma, 9th house, all come together. So this transit is special for you, I would say, because first of all, A, it is coming out from the 8th house. B, it is splitting away from Rahu. So efforts aligns with destiny, actions gets divine support, career direction becomes meaningful, past karma starts giving results now. Because you see, it is in the 9th house, it is not considered to be that good as per the classic text also. And it is said that if there is a planet transiting the 6th house, then it is a Viprit Vedha. So there is no planet transiting the 6th house, so there is, it's not considered to be that good. So 9th house is basically, as per the classic text, it said that it is a, it is about, as per the classic text, it is about childbirth. It gives troubles in the childbirth, but it is good for your clothing, jewelry, anything to do with marriage. For that it is good, but it is not that good for father or brothers, or it can give you some mental agony also. So basic cells, blood in the body becomes little, you suffer from some blood related issues, and enemies may attack and you may suffer with difficulties. It's as per the classic text, but for sure it is going to be giving different results. It is definitely positive for your luck enhancement also, because it's your yoga karagraha. So past karma starts giving results, because Mars is in the water sign and the action is emotional, journey is internal first, and faith is tested before reward. So strong career push, leadership opportunities, recognition through efforts, support from seniors, gurus, clarity of direction, new opportunities aligned with purpose, and foreign or long distance work possible. So career becomes meaningful, not just mechanical. Now you will understand what you're doing, your projects, etc. But what is the major challenge here? That you will have some emotional decisions you have to make. So this can give you impatience. You might just change your direction suddenly. There can be some frustration. I want to get the results faster, I'm not getting. So that patience level might just go down. Financially, it's a very positive time. It will give you income growth through effort, gains from knowledge, teaching, consulting. So that way it is definitely very positive, and long-term wealth also can be built. It's just that you have to be careful about emotional spending. It's said that paisa aayega par kharch bhi hoga. Money will come in, but there will be luxury expenditure also. So it could be spiritual expenditure or luxury expenses. So travel related expenditure is also quite likely. So this is a intuitive decision making time. Strong intuition, visionary thinking, spiritual clarity, big picture understanding, where I have to go, what I have to do, whether I should start something or not. But it is also going to give you emotional impulsiveness. You might just trust someone, or maybe over trust someone, and that person backbites you or backstabs you. There can be confusion between intuition and illusion. Okay, so balance emotion with logic and you're good to go, please. As regards to student natives, this is very powerful, because Mars is your fifth lord also. So good for higher education, excellent for focus time, focus, competitive exam success, deep understanding, research ability, spiritual or philosophical interest. I think this is one of the best phases for the student natives. Just don't expect too much, or don't pressurize yourself too much. There can be some emotional distraction that you can go through. That is something you should work on. And fifth lord is also getting activated, so definitely good for child's progress, achievements. But don't be impatient with your children. Don't pressurize them. Be supportive and don't be controlling. Okay, because, or maybe some health issue can come up and you get you are a little stressed out for your kids. As regards to your property sale, etc., Mars is looking at your fourth house. So definitely it is good for foreign land opportunities, for purchasing of property, or maybe relocation also can be visible. And also they can be some kind of confusion also, or maybe emotional attachment is interfering. Oh, I need this property. Oh, I should buy this, or I should keep this property. I'm not selling it off. But as regards to inheritance also, it is definitely very positive. Some unexpected support will come in and your matter will get resolved. And you will get that guidance from the mentors also. And as you know, Mars is in the water sign, so energy improves with discipline. Spiritual healing works. Okay, so you need to connect with the maybe some water, near water, or maybe you can soak your feet in the salt water before sleeping. So that is also good for coming out of the sleep issues and any kind of inflammation or stress. So this is good. Now there are different phases. 2nd to the 6th April, it's going to be in Jupiter's nakshatra. So this is definitely very positive. Blessings begin because ninth Lord's nakshatra. So optimism, guidance, divine signal phase. So whatever your intuition says, follow it. Okay. 7 to the 23rd of April, it's going to be in Saturn's nakshatra. Now Saturn is also the 7th and the 8th Lord. So this is test of patience. It might just delay the process, some kind of a job that you have to complete. It might just be very frustrating for you, but hard work is required, discipline is required. So this is a karma test phase. It's a mixed result. 7th house, 8th house rulers, Saturn's nakshatra, Mars will be. So you have to take care of your relationship also during this time, and don't make any impulsive decisions. Oh, I want to part ways or something. So this is not going to help. So the critical window would be when 18th to the 22nd, when Mars, Saturn and Mercury will be together. So there can be some career pressure, or travels might just get delayed, or some important decisions you have to make. So emotional or practical conflict phase. Destiny decision phase, I would say. Okay. Now 24th April to the 11th of May is this Mars transiting through Mercury's nakshatra. So clarity returns, movement begins, and execution phase also. So this is definitely a very positive time period. And it's looking at Gemini sign, your 12th house of foreign travel, spiritual growth, but expenditures might increase, sleep issues can happen. It's looking at your Virgo sign, your 3rd house, so it's good for courage, communication, connection with your siblings. Don't get into any kind of arguments, or don't be impatient during this time though. But yeah, it is good for resolving some issues, and maybe PR, visa, etc. will also trigger. It is looking at your 4th house, which is good for your home improvements, Libra sign, balance at home, emotional growth, but there can be some emotional instability also at the same time because it is the Libra sign. And as regards to the connectivity with Venus, Venus is in Aries, your 10th house, and Mars is in Pisces, where Venus exalts. So this is good for career aligned with destiny. This is that kind of a phase. And recognition through charm, action, creative success, strong attraction energy, career growth through relationship. But challenges are also there with this. There can be mixing of emotions with career. Attraction at workplace can happen, or confusion in professional decisions, or ego clashes with your bosses or seniors, or especially the female bosses. Okay. Your destiny and your career are connecting, but your emotions will decide the outcome. Okay. So this is what, and it's good. Yogarak Graha is getting activated, good for education, good for career, good for spiritual growth, strong intuition. It's just that you have to be careful that don't make decisions in impulse, impatiently, or emotionally, and don't overthink. So Hanuman worship, of course, Hanumanji, Hanuman Chalisa you can recite, and also Vishnu prayers will help you. Offer water to the sun god and donate yellow or red items to the needy. Trust intuition but verify facts. Okay, avoid emotional decisions, stay consistent in effort, and seek mentor guidance, journaling, meditation. This is good. Okay, so this is a destiny moving transit. So you're being asked to act with purpose, to trust your path, and to align effort with meaning. So this is the time when your actions decide your destiny. Okay, so I think it's a good transit for you. Coming to the next one, that is Leo. I'll pin the link, what is Dasha sign. So I will mention that link, how to check that also. Okay. So thank you so much, Lunar Mystic Vidya. Thank you for being here. Okay. So for Leo natives, this transit is happening of Mars in the 8th house from 2nd April to the 11th of May. Now you see, Mars is your Yoga Karagraha, 4th and the 9th Lord. So 4th house, home, emotional security, property, inner peace. 9th house, destiny, luck, dharma, father, higher guidance. So Mars is in the 8th house, the house of hidden transformation of destiny through emotional pressure. Okay. So it is a good planet though. It is a powerful one, and it's also intense at the same time. Rather, I would say it is a life-changing transit. So it's not always bad or not too comfortable, because it is, after all, the ninth lord in the eighth house. So sudden changes or some crisis or transformation will happen. So are you ready to transform what you thought was stable? So, as regards to your career, it can bring about sudden career opportunities also. It can transform your career path. Maybe some research based work. You might be on the laptop most of the time and doing some kind of research, any which way, since Mars was with Rahu and now Mars is in the eighth house also from the second today. So, occult, healing, finance, investigation related fields will get activated now. Foreign or hidden projects, breakthrough after a struggle. This is what is the key theme of Mars. It's not a visible growth, but a deep growth, I would say. Okay, so it's definitely a mixed kind of a transit. So, but yes, it is looking at your 11th house, so there can be lack of clarity, there can be politics behind the scenes, instability in career, or you might just feel unsupported. Okay, this is not a smooth career phase, but it's a transformational phase, I would say. And also, eighth house is getting active, so it's good for your inheritance, insurance, tax, any kind of settlement benefits you're waiting for, you will get it. Hidden money surfaces. Maybe there's a treasure hidden in your house and you just happen to find that. It used to happen earlier times. We used to keep the our ancestors, they used to keep the treasures and gems and all the money in the house itself, in a pitcher. They used to put it in it, and they used to dig up and they used to put it underneath the ground in the house to just avoid any kind of thefts. So this is definitely going to be bringing about that hidden treasure now. Maybe, some hidden money, lottery or something like that can trigger as well. Joint finances will improve, but it is not that good for sudden gains. It's not that suddenly you will sudden expenditure, sorry. There can be sudden expenditures, financial uncertainty comes, and dependency on others, disputes over money. Paisa aayega par seedhe nahi aayega. That means it will not come, money will come, but it will not come directly. It might just go through so many other ways and means and then will come to you. So maybe not a straightforward earning. Maybe you're earning through some investments, monthly. So that is something which is also quite likely. So good for deep intuition, strong inner insight, ability to read situations deeply, psychological strength. But it is not that good for fear-based decisions. You might just be overthinking during this time. There can be some emotional confusion, suspicion, trust issues. So you must avoid reacting from insecurity. Sometimes what happens in impulse or out of fear, we start putting our money in the wrong directions. So that is something you have to avoid. As regards to the education students, this is a very good time for research oriented students or deep study, occult, astrology, spiritual subjects. Concentration will improve. Transformation in mindset happens when Mars and Saturn and Mercury also will be in your 8th house. And Sun till the, I think till the mid of this month will be here in the 14th of April will be in the 8th house also. So after it leaves this zone, things will start getting better. This can bring about some distraction also due to emotional stress, lack of clarity and fear of failure. But it is very good for research, psychology, astrology and hidden sciences, of course, or any kind of PhD if you are pursuing. Anything to do with hidden or, secret works also, it is going to be there. So it is good for deeper emotional bonding with children. Transformation in relationship happens, but it is good for property transformation. How it happens? You might just buy another property in lieu of the one which you have already purchased. You'll sell that and you will buy another one. There can be some hidden benefits out of it, and then maybe you're renovating your place also. But at the same time, for property disputes, this is not a good time. Maybe you can get into a legal or structural or hidden issues. So this can bring about emotional instability at home. Avoid impulsive property decisions, I would suggest. As regards to inheritance or any kind of a sudden income, so this is also good for karmic clearing, spiritual awakening and deep transformation. Hidden blessings, as we say, come from this house. So you will get through what you have been going, what a legal battle suppose is going on prolonged from a long time. So you will get that clarity now, and it can bring about some emotional turbulence or unexpected situations also, or internal struggle, but it is a karmic clearing and cleansing phase also. As regards to your health, it is good for healing deeply. Maybe you have had some breakup with your partner, so now this is a good time for, because Mars was with Rahu earlier, so now you will get that healing. You are coming out of that issue that you are going through. So there can be sudden health issues or inflammation or reproductive or hormonal imbalance or stress related issues. So health must not be ignored during this time. As regards to the dates, 2nd to the 6th of April, Mars is going to be in Jupiter's nakshatra. So emotional awareness, spiritual signals, intuitive awakening. So inner awakening phase. This is a good time period. 7 to the 23rd, it is going to be in Saturn's nakshatra. So pressure will increase, karmic tests, delays, heaviness. So you have to be careful about your health, your mental setup, your stress levels. You should be watchful about, and in relationship and in your property matters also, this is not that great a period. Then 18th to the 22nd especially, it is definitely a very precarious time. So you have to be careful about your relationships, your finances, your any kind of major decisions regards to your money matters also. It's a turning point phase, I would say. So avoid making any decisions. It can bring about some emotional breakdown. So you have to be very strong. I'll give you the remedies also, don't worry. 24th April to the 11th of May is Revati nakshatra, that is Mercury's nakshatra getting active, and Mars is. So this will bring about clarity. Healing begins and solutions emerge. Recovery phase, I would say. So this is a very good time period. And also it is looking at your 11th house, good for gains, networking, but it brings in conflict with your old friends, unstable income also. It's looking at your second house, your Virgo sign, so financial discipline. It is not good for harsh speech, or family tension can be there. You have to be careful about your eating habits during this time. It's looking at your third house also, Libra sign. So this is going to bring about courage in communication, and some paperwork you'll be doing, and this is a good time for travels also. Don't get into arguments or impulsive decisions. Now there is a connection of Venus and Mars also. Venus exalts in Pisces where Mars is, and Venus is in Aries sign, which is ruled by Mars. So spiritual transformation can happen, deep love connection can happen, destiny shifts through relationships, and creative and artistic depth. Powerful attraction energy, but you have to be careful. There can be some confusion in love, secret relationship can happen, trust issues can happen, obsession or intensity can build up, or imbalance in giving. So this is something you have to be a little careful about. But yes, your destiny is transforming, but it is happening through hidden emotional processes. So it is good for karmic clearing, deep transformation, spiritual growth, hidden blessings, intuition rises, but it brings about emotional stress and sudden changes and instability also. So some financial fluctuations, so you have to be careful about your finances and stress and your health also. So Hanuman Chalisa is the key. Worship Lord Shiva. It's the 8th house, healing energy. Donate red lentils for food, and water-based rituals like Jalabheshek, or maybe walking barefoot on the grass also, or soaking your feet in the water and throwing it in the flushing it into the toilet. So you can do that also. Avoid overthinking, don't react emotionally, and do some kind of therapy, journaling, or something that you like, healing energy. Avoid secrecy in relationship and maintain routine, and do some grounding exercises. This is not a light transit. I know it's the 8th house transit, so life is not taking anything away from you, it's changing you. So don't worry. What feels like a breakdown now is actually your transformation in progress, because it is going to be in your 9th house the upcoming month. So it is definitely going to be positive for you guys. Okay, so this shall also pass, don't worry. Coming to the next one, that is Virgo. So the initial part, there is a presentation, so do hear it. What exactly is the mundane prediction and global prediction, that will help you. So for Virgo, this is really an important one because it's in your seventh house. Seventh house of relationship, marriage, business partnership, open enemies, public dynamics. And also it is ruling your third house, your siblings, courage, effort, and also your eighth, that is sudden change, inheritance, deep emotional pressure. So 2nd to the 11th of May, Mars is going to be in your 7th house. So Mars in the 7th house is about marriage, partnership, business alliances, one-on-one relationships. So this is going to bring about some intensity, karmic themes, trust issues also, because it is the 8th lord after all. So partnerships become the battlefield, the classroom, and the mirror. Okay, so you cannot stay neutral for too long with the 7th house transit. Relationships need action, hidden issues come up, attraction and irritation can rise together. People trigger you more directly. Your own suppressed frustration becomes visible through others. So, this month where Virgo must ask, am I dealing with the other person or am I acting from my own unprocessed inner pressure? That's the real question, isn't it? So, this transit is definitely important, for the spouse, business partner, clients, public dealing, contracts, how the world directly engages with you. Now, Mars is trying to give you that courage and sharpness also. Depth and crisis energy as well, because it's the ruler of the 3rd and the 8th. So communication and partnerships becomes sharper. Truth wants to come out. Hidden tension becomes visible. Agreements may be tested. Attraction may intensify. Confrontation may also intensify. So this is not a passivity, I would say, but yeah, it is about clarity through interaction. So it's definitely about your business, about your relationship, about your clientele. So this is going to bring about public interactions also. Some visible contract signings, some business related negotiations will take place, but through self effort. It's not going to be that it is going to be without it's served on a platter. No, it is not going to be there. And it is also, that the career may move through client changes, maybe client changes, partnership deals, public positioning, negotiations, handling strong personalities, deeper restructuring of how you work with others. So what is the good thing about this transit? That it is going to give you boldness in decision making and business, courage in negotiations, which is really important, isn't it? Stronger presence in client facing roles, ability to confront what isn't working. Business partnership energy becomes active. Strategic power in dealing with others. Excellent for consultants, lawyers, healers, coaches, astrologers, service providers. This is especially good if you work, if your work depends on one-on-one clients or advisory roles or negotiations or contractual work or public trust. It's just that it can bring about conflict with your boss, partner, client, or impatience in meetings. Public disagreement also happens, no? So sometimes, the ego clashes can ruin the collaboration. So that is something you have to be careful about. Some legal business stress can be there, or feeling that people provoke you. Oh, I'm not doing this. Workplace relationship, drama can happen. So all these, it is not a sit quietly and hope things improve transit. It is deal with the partnership equation properly and it'll improve things. And as regards to your finances, it's a deeper financial pattern which is activating with the 7th house transit, 8th lot in the 7th house. So it could be because of your spouse or partner or joint finances that you gain, your financial growth happens. Client payments, if they were stuck, you get them. Business deals happen and settlement matters. Hidden financial tension coming into the limelight. And also it is good for business related gains, and contracts can bring money. Client work can improve. Spouse partner may become financially relevant. Strategic negotiation can help income. Hidden financial truths become visible, which can ultimately help. And money conflict with partner, you should not pick up that argument, or any kind of hidden dues or obligations, payments delays. This can lead to bad reputation also. And stress due to dependency or unequal exchange, emotional intensity tied to money. So money is not absent here, but money is interlinked with people this month. So this is not independent money flow, but the money through agreements, people, and joint karma. So what you have to do is, basically, this is Mercury also forming a connection. So it is going to be bringing about your decision making becoming faster, sharper, and more reactive, more strategic, but also emotionally influenced by conflict, because it is looking at your first house also, no? And your decisions this month may come from instinct, your intuition, or pressure, or confrontation, or urgency. Oh, I have to sell the property because I need money, that kind of a thing. So the need to settle something, you will be making some quicker decisions. Okay. So courage to take decisions you were avoiding will happen. Strategic mind in relationship or business matters. Less people pleasing, ability to say enough. So avoid impulsive reactions and deciding in anger, harsh communication, assuming the worst, overanalyzing motive, and then reacting sharply, turning one disagreement into a permanent judgment. So I can advise you only one thing, that pause before speaking, and especially in one-on-one matters. I request you. As regards to education is concerned, it is definitely a very positive one, because it's a seventh house, so it is going to give you sharp concentration when serious. Excellent for research work, good for psychology, medicine, occult, law, analytics, technical work. Courage increases. Interviews, you need that courage, no, for interviews and competition, or debates, or oral exams. So this is going to give you that. Good for one-to-one guidance and mentoring also. Okay. It's just that there can be some distraction through relationships, that or pressure from competition. That is something you have to be a little careful about. And attraction in relationship can bring about some issues regarding your focus, and pressure from others' progress also can be there. Oh, comparison comes in, oh, that person is doing so well and I'm not, that student, is better than me. So that is something you have to work on, and have disciplined effort, that is something which will help you. And take one-on-one guidance, focus communication, not for drama, comparison, getting mentally entangled in unnecessary peer issues. As regards to children, you have to be more patient with them, and less tolerant of irresponsibility, more direct in speech, and more protective about, also more controlling if stressed. Okay. So courage to take needed decisions for children, stronger involvement in their decisions, and ability to solve important issues. Don't be impatient, and don't overcorrect them also. Okay. So firmness without heat. So that is something you have to, don't lose temper on your kids. Try to be firm but not angry. Okay. As regards to property matters, real estate, etc., 8th house is hidden property, paperwork, legal, technical issues, matters involving spouse, partner in property, sudden decision, pressure, unresolved issues might surface. But it is good for property matters in case you have to make any bold decisions, purchase it, sell it. So this is a good month. This is a good transit from 2nd April to 11th May. And some hidden technical flaws may be discovered and corrected also. Good for research before buying, and spouse or partner driven property movement possible. So this way it is a good transit. But there can be some conflicts also in property decisions, or emotionally rushed decisions, or hidden liabilities. So that is something you have to be careful about. Okay, so review, inspect and correct, and legal documentation clarity which is required. Okay. So as regards to inheritance or shared resources or occult themes is concerned, so it's settlement themes, inheritance issues, joint account decisions, deeper emotional truths in marriage, tax, insurance, legal shared matters, occult or spiritual curiosity. And hidden truth becomes visible. That's a very good part about this, And also it can bring about some kind of changes, maybe through healing through therapy or through spiritual work. Excellent time for astrology, for tantra, psychology, deep study, inheritance matters. You will be able to settle them down. There can be some trust issues or fear-based reactions also because of the 8th house activation, suspicion, crisis mindset, over-fixation on what may go wrong. So depth is not always danger. Remember, sometimes it is simply truth becoming visible. As regards to your health, you have to take care of your health. Some deep issues or chronic issues can come up, or nervous drive because of the 3rd house rulership. So anger, relationship stress, these can cause more worries and more problems, or sexual energy imbalance, or adrenal fatigue, or nervous irritation, or inflammation, or digestive tension due to mental conflict can happen. It's good for correct health, strong good health, you will get if you work on yourself. Good for therapy, surgery, targeted healing if required. Courage to address neglected issues. Physical energy can rise if directed properly. So what are the challenges that you can face? Stress related fatigue can be there. Reproductive or urinary tract sensitivity can be there. Headaches, suppressed frustration, disturbed peace because others are triggering you. So relationship can show up in the body. So pay attention to that. Now, there are phases that Mars is going to be in Purvabhadrapada, that is Jupiter's nakshatra, from 2nd to the 6th April. So this is an entry phase. So this is definitely a very positive time period for relationships, strong attraction, in case a conversation which was to be, done in business, etc. So this is good timing, inner awareness that something must be dealt with. So this is good, when wisdom will be prevalent. Also, clarity begins and instinct about people becomes very sharp. Meaningful conversations, collaborations happen, and intuition helps. What is not good is emotional exaggeration, idealizing and demonizing the other person, and also reacting too quickly before facts are very clear. So awareness phase, actually, this is. Then Mars will be in Uttarabhadrapada, that is Saturn's nakshatra, from 7 to the 23rd of April. Now here it is somewhat a harder phase because 5th and the 6th Lord nakshatra is getting triggered, and 8th Lord Mars, of course. So this is where you will this can create connection with communication, hidden tension, children, love, because it is the ruler of your 5th house also. Some work conflict can happen, competition, debt, emotional pressure can be felt. So partnership tension affecting work, love issue affecting confidence, work pressure affecting your relationship, children, romance issues becoming heavier, legal or practical obligations weighing on mind. So these are the downsides and downside of Mars in the 7th house. But what is good for you with the Saturn's nakshatra prevalent? Excellent discipline if used well, and strong ability to fight through pressure, strategic emotional control, productive crisis handling. You can be getting that serious relational or work issues, you can solve them. And also this is the time for maturity in decision making, not reactively. Okay, you will be maybe having that it's building up that volcano, but yeah, it is going to be definitely still mature decision making. So just avoid any kind of cold anger or relationship fatigue or mutual frustration or criticism or blame game. Emotionally you can feel heavy because of all these. So there is an intense pressure in marriage or business dynamics. This is karma test phase, so be careful. And of course 18th to the 22nd, this is where you have to be a little more careful. There can be tension in marriage, partnership, heavy discussions can happen, some contract pressure can be there, work related some spilling into relationship because there is a lot of pressure at the workplace, difficulty feeling emotionally relaxed, harsh realism. So that is something you have to be careful about. But yes, what is good about it, that courage under pressure, endurance in difficult relationship situations, ability to work through serious issues, practical realism, strong negotiation ability, building something stable after a hard conversation, ability to stop fantasy and face the truth, And what is not so good is emotional coldness in relationship, bitterness, passive aggression, and blocked anger and frustration without resolution. Relationship distance can be there. You're traveling, the partner is somewhere else, you're somewhere else. Public professional tension can be there. So this is not necessarily breakup time, but it is like, reality entering the room. Okay. And 20th to 22nd, especially Mars and Mercury will be together here. So the first lord and the 10th lord is going to be in the 7th house. So your mind, your body, your career, your communication, your decision. So this is definitely going to be good for sharp communication, powerful analysis, strategic decision making, excellent business mind, contract review power, courage to say what needs to be done. Very good for legal, consulting, writing, teaching, therapy, advisory work. This is a brilliant time if your mind is calm, actually, if you use it well. Don't be sarcastic, don't be sharp-tongued or over-analytical. There can be some nervous agitation, harsh speech in relationships. So all that if you avoid in your messages, in your emails, and on one-on-one talks, I think you definitely will be better off. And you can solve something very brilliantly or worsen it with one sharp sentence. So this is the fact. So the third phase is Mars in Revati, that is 24th April to the 11th of May. Now this is linked to Mars. So Mars is, this is usually a phase where understanding improves. Okay. And communication becomes more useful. Business, public matters can move. Decisions become clearer, and relationship issues may move from pure emotion to practical decisions. So clarity, execution, tactical planning. See, it's a Mercury's nakshatra after all. So excellent for negotiations, good for business deals. It's a 7th house activation. So better problem solving and less emotional heaviness is there. So what is not so good about it is mental restlessness can be there, too much of analysis, too much of criticism, and small risk of sharpness in speech, still risk in sharpness of speech. So this is an execution phase. It is going to be aspecting your 10th house, first house, second house also. So when it is looking at your 10th house, so this is good for your public image, profession, visibility, and some kind of courage in making decisions in your professional front. Maybe you will go to your boss and say that I need this promotion or upgrade me. So leadership energy will be there, ability to push forward. But there can be some stress also at the workplace, reactive decisions will be made. And also communication issues in profession also can be there. So that is something you have to be careful about. It's looking at your first house. So good for courage, action, less passivity, stronger will, ability to stand for yourself. But there can be some irritability also in relationship in you, or some overreaction is there, inflammation is there. Take care of your headaches and health, and also becoming too sharp or critical. Then it is looking at your second house, Libra sign also. So financial motivation will increase, stronger money focus, courage to discuss values, better financial correction. What is not so good is harsh speech in family, money conflict, emotional eating, spending, value clashes. Okay. Also, Venus and Mars are forming a connection. Remember, till the 19th of April, Venus is going to be in your 8th house, Aries. And Pisces is where Venus exalts. Okay. So Venus in the second house, Libra, 9th house, Taurus, and Mars in Pisces. So it is forming a connection, because Mars is in Venus's exaltation sign. So what's happening is this can become very important in marriage, in intimate relationship, partner finance dynamics, attraction through emotional or karmic bonds, financial and romantic intensity. So what is the positive thing which is happening with this connectivity? Powerful attraction happens, deep bonding in relationship, fate-linked relationship experiences, financial insight through partner. Your partner will guide you through where to invest, what to do. Emotional honesty, strong chemistry plus seriousness happens, and possibility of healing through relationship if both are matured enough. Okay, what is not so good about it is emotional confusion in love. You propose someone and that person refused. That can also happen. So intensity becoming overwhelming, or control issues or trust issues happen, or possessiveness can happen. So spending through emotional involvement and mixing attraction and pain. So Venus in Mars is sign, Mars in sign where Venus is also desire, intimacy, money, emotional truth becomes deeply interconnected. So courage in relationships, strong business negotiation ability, client or public interaction will get activated, strategic decision making will take place. Emotional truth surfaces, hidden issues can be resolved, deep transformation in marriage or public life, better problem solving later in the transit. Career movement through direct interaction. Great for consultants, therapists, advisors, legal or contract roles, but it is not that good for marriage. Marriage tensions happen, arguments happen, emotional reactivity can be there, trust issues can be there, or legal or contract pressure is there. So, over analysis and suspicion should be avoided, and financial intensity through shared resources can happen as well. So, speak after thinking, let difficult truths come out but calmly, and document everything in business and legal matters. I would request you keep work and relationship conflicts separate. Use this transit for honest negotiation, review financial and shared obligations, allow transformation instead of resisting every uncomfortable truth. If relationship tension rises, ask what is actually happening beneath this. Okay, so avoid sarcastic communication, passive aggressive silence, emotional punishment, mixing intimacy, money, and ego carelessly. Okay. So, Hanuman Chalisa is a very good remedy that I think everybody should read. Hanuman Chalisa every day, and you should also, because 8th house is connected, so Shiva worship is very good. Offer milk or water to Shivlingam, of course, if at all you can. Pray for calm speech and wise decision, and donate red lentils on Tuesdays. Respect spouse or partner's space. Do not act from anger. If legal or financial tension exists, so keep prayer linked with action, not only pray. Okay. Also communicating through journaling, or maybe you want to speak something to someone, so it's better that you write. Okay, write down and then see whether you have written correctly, whether you should convey it to others or not. Also, therapy or counseling if relationship tension is old and layered. Don't text in anger. Sleep properly. Lack of sleep worsens this transit, remember. Go for walks before difficult conversations. Don't combine emotional argument with money discussions in the same moment. Use structured mediation if needed in partnership. Put someone in between, there should be a mediator who can help you guys. Exercise to release stored Mars pressure. So this is not a quiet transit, this is a relational awakening transit. So 7th house is showing who provokes you, who truly matters, where your unresolved frustration lives, what truth your relationship or business dynamic have that you have been avoiding. So don't use intelligence to avoid emotion, and don't use criticism to avoid vulnerability. So this is actually the transit which is bringing your hidden tension into direct human interaction, because 7th house is the other people. So this is where you finally be it can be seen, addressed, and transformed, whatever you have been running away from. So this month can either sharpen your relationship or expose where they are not balanced. Okay, so this is what, and I think I'm so sorry to the ones who are waiting for me to give you the predictions, but I'm a little tired, so I will be doing it after, say, 12 to 15 hours. Give me that kind of time. I will come back and do from Libra to the Pisces sign. Sorry about this. Stay blessed, everyone. Om Tat Sat.